About 100 countries in Africa, major part of Eurasia, and some regions of South Africa. What do they have in common? The answer is simple. The constant threat of huge economic losses, cease of product export, destabilization of food market, and devastation of livestock owners. And the cause of it is all FMD virus strains permanently moving between the continents. Even island countries are not protected from this highly contagious disease. FMD outbreak in Great Britain in 2011 cost more than $16 billion and killed about 10 million animals. In Tsarist Russia and later in the Soviet Union, the FMD epidemic situation was extremely complicated. The losses were estimated at billions of rubles. In order to control the disease, the All-Union Foot and Mouth Research Institute was established in 1958. Thanks to the diagnostic methods and vaccines developed by the specialists of this institute, the disease was eradicated. This opened up new horizons for the institute and gave the possibilities to study different viral and bacterial infections, produce up-to-date diagnostic and vaccines against numerous cattle diseases. In Russia, I suppose, the whole range of such products can be offered only by our center because we constantly improve our products and develop new ones. This means perhaps no one in Russia and neighboring countries can provide you with such a range of goods. Prevention of animal diseases, including cattle diseases, is, of course, much cheaper than losses caused by some infection to business operators or livestock farms. Today, ex-FMD Research Institute has another name and much more capacities. Lumpy skin disease, blue tongue viral diarrhea, infectious bovine rhinotracheitis, leukosis, bovine coronavirus. This is a non-exhaustive list of diseases covered by the Federal Center for Animal Health Activities. Specific identification techniques and vaccine production technologies have been developed for every type of virus. But handling all of pathogens is governed by only one principle, that is, a comprehensive approach to disease eradication. When comprehensive diagnostic tests are performed, the specialists of our laboratory provide consultations, visit farms, assess the on-site situation taking into account clinical, epidemic, and post-mortem findings. And the final stage is, of course, the elaboration of recommendations for specific prevention of a particular infection. But FMD is still given special attention by the Institute. The outbreaks of this disease can cause irreparable damage to the agriculture and export potential of any country. In 2013, FMD outbreaks in Zabaykalsky and Krasnodar regions, caused by virus variants exotic for Russia, almost jeopardized the whole endeavor. We had to promptly adapt new isolates and make production strains again. In 2013, we completed the task, and today we have a pretty sustainable freedom from FMD. Certainly not all countries can boast of impressive results and, moreover, control this dangerous disease by their own means. That's why highly effective FMD vaccines produced by ARRIAH are justly demanded abroad. Historically, for the last 10 to 15 years, our institute has been manufacturing products for export. You should realize that it is extremely difficult to sell a bad product abroad. I suppose this speaks a lot about the quality of our vaccines. Now, the veterinary drugs produced by the Institute are registered in 20 countries of the CIS and far abroad. The ARRIAH vaccines rescued the livestock industry of other countries on numerous occasions. For example, Mongolia, where FMD epidemic was successfully eradicated several years ago. 37 million doses of Russian vaccines were exported to the land of the blue sky. In 2016, the Institute produced and shipped a big consignment of FMD vaccines to Armenia within the shortest time period. The latest development of our lab and our center is a vaccine based on stereotype A belonging to genetic lineage G7. Today, animal disease outbreaks are being registered in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Turkey, and Armenia. They are caused by this particular isolate belonging to genetic lineage G7. In quite a short time, we managed to adapt the virus, and now we have the production strain. Our scientists work in different countries of the world. Wherever the problem occurs, they are ready to render diagnostic assistance, contain primary outbreaks, and create conditions for sustainable freedom from FMD in any country. We receive information, and the specialists of our institute go on site, collect pathological material, and here we determine the type of the isolated virus. The uniqueness of the vaccines produced by the Institute lies in the ability to produce preparations from hot strains within a very short time. The scientists know that the secret of their work is rapid interaction with the environment. Different outbreaks caused by different stereotypes and genetic lineages occur in the world. Most effective is the vaccine based on the strain that caused the outbreak. We have great potential to adapt this strain as a production one in the shortest possible time and just in 3 months release the finished product. Profound knowledge of the virus origin is expedient for complete disease eradication and properly designed prevention program. Our task is not only to confirm clinical diagnosis, but also to perform so-called molecular and genetic characterization of viruses causing highly dangerous diseases. It means that ARRIAH experts can determine where the disease came from. For instance, the Institute's research shows that all FMD outbreaks within the last 20 years were caused by disease introduction from neighboring countries, mainly from China. The ARRIAH diagnostic services and vaccines are in demand both in Russia and abroad. Russian preparations for FMD prevention are exported to the CIS countries, Asia, and Middle East. The work and achievements of the Institute, for which it received many awards, was acknowledged by the world veterinary community and highly appreciated by international organizations long ago. The ARRIAH is the FAO and OIE reference laboratory for FMD.
I'm always very impressed by the work that they do and how the range of the work that they do, and I also particularly like the fact that they do research and development, and they even make products as well, which I think is really, really good and a very big challenge really to do all of those three things well. And I think that Vladimir I would say, is probably the equivalent of my own institute here in Britain, so we have a lot in common.
Range of veterinary products produced by the Federal Center for Animal Health for bovine disease prevention includes sorbate vaccines for immunization of cattle, yaks, buffaloes, camels, sheep, and goats against foot and mouth disease, including vaccines containing new AG7 production strain. Emulsion vaccines for immunization of pigs and cattle against foot and mouth disease, ARRIAH Vac. Universal concentrated vaccines against bovine infectious rhinotracheitis, parainfluenza, viral diarrhea, and pasteurellosis, rotavirus, and coronavirus infections,